If you can hear this, you're in the circle now. Check your shoulders. Make sure it's just you and these words. You have now tuned in to the Let 'Em Know podcast, where the real talk's quiet and the truth talks loud. No accidents. You found this frequency. So sit back. Lock in. Let them know you're listening. You're loud tuned in to the Let 'Em Know podcast. If you can hear this.
Savvy, let 'em know.
Hey, it's Trey. Turn it up.
Wavy, ooh, yeah, ah. Wavy, ooh, yeah, ah. Wavy, ooh, ah, yeah. Wavy, ooh, yeah, ah. Squay.
What's good, Savvy Crew? What's good, YouTube? I'm coming back with another video, and in this one we're gonna be talking about weather modification. Now, I was supposed to been do a video on this, like I'm talking about since like in November or somewhere around there, because I started uploading these videos in October, and I got a bunch of video ideas. Some I was supposed to make before it happened, and something in it happened. Some of them I still got something to make. You know what I'm saying? But this was one of the ones I was supposed to been make, and I never did it because it was either other videos I thought that was more important at the time or whatever. But now we here to what we got today in the weather. They talking about it's gonna be a super snowstorm around everywhere and shit. But anyways, yeah, if you don't believe in weather modification, maybe by the end of this video you might. So we gonna start off with this Tucker Carlson video I watched. Now I don't know. I got one video. I spent at least like 20 minutes or so, 15-20 minutes maybe, trying to find before I started this video. And then yeah, I watched this video, this Tucker Carlson video I'm finna watch real quick, which I watched this one already, or half of it, as you can see, a little half of it. So yeah.
Well, where's the...
Imagine being able to build anything just by thinking about it. Meet Base 44, a complete...
Well, it was blizzarding in New Orleans.
I would say it's like having another producer
And wasn't Tucker Carlson a news anchor anyways, or something like that, I believe?
in the room that knows exactly what your song needs. This is co-producer. The fact
Pretend, again, like the Wikipedia
Or yeah, I forgot what he did. I think he was like a news anchor.
definition you read, that this is some sort of an outlet.
Hold on, matter of fact, cause I ain't gonna even lie. The video that I'm finna watch anyways, that I spent time trying to find, that's probably gonna be better than all the ones I'm finna show real quick. But actually, I ain't gonna lie. Ooh, that's 42 minutes. I don't even know. Let me see. I don't know. Let me see what this one is. Since everybody know
Dairy Transportation Bolt stood in, and he
since everybody knows Tucker Carlson, we gonna matter of fact, nah, hell nah. We gonna go. I'm gonna watch the video I was gonna watch anyway. By End Time Production. Oh, it's just 17 minutes. I thought it was gonna be longer than that. Okay, well, shit.
In 1996, a very strange research paper.
Shit, we gonna start off with this one, and then from there, after that, I'm just gonna go try and just see some other videos and shit. But yeah, this video right here, by End Time Productions, I watched this and I had to go all the way back to like November something, because that's when I watched this motherfucker in my watch history. But well, November last year, you feel me? But no, I'm saying November something because of date. But yeah, this is from End Time Productions. So
Came out saying that they are planning on controlling the weather by 2020.
Because yeah, Texas is getting a whole lot of snow and shit. Supposedly, places around there that don't normally get snow. And I wanted to start this video because, like I said, I don't plan none of these videos. I mean, besides like the topic of what I'm gonna do, but I don't make like no whole damn, you know what I'm saying, paragraph and shit for the video. I just go off top. You feel me? But I was supposed to start this video off with so even our ancient ancestors used to control weather. Supposedly, we know that supposedly it wasn't really no ice in the old world or no snow or nothing like that. It was really just tropical. You feel me? And it's supposedly even yeah, the Antarctica was even green at some point. They got places around there. I'm pretty sure still today they got, you know what I'm saying, some green around there. It wasn't just all ice. I feel like that was something that they did. Did like some type of flash freeze. I mean, they had the technology that gets released to us is old to them. So when we get heat seeking bullets, some motherfucking chat GBT and shit like that, you know what I'm saying, it's old to them. They've been played with that shit and been used it in war or whatever the fuck, wherever they used it at, because it was for them anyways. Most likely it got built for the military or the government or whoever anyway, and then they released it to us when they got tired of using it or whatever. You feel me? However, whatever they do, whatever they mindset be when they release it. The only reason they released it is because they just got done playing with this shit. They been playing with that shit for 10, 15 plus years. You feel me? And then it come out and then it's new to us, but old to them. So let's get into this about weather modification though, because also there's this movie called Geostorm, and that's what initially made me want to do, because I've been watched this, and then I watched Geostorm like maybe in December, and then I watched this video in like November. So after watching Geostorm, though, that made me like actually want to do a video about how they probably can do weather modification. But let's get into this though.
25. And it's still available right now. You can look it up online. It's called, quote, Weather as a Force Multiplier, Owning the Weather in 2025. And here we are in 2025, and we are seeing unprecedented weather events.
Yeah, like I was saying, our ancient ancestors though, they used to control the weather because supposedly it didn't like really rain or nothing like that. If it did, it wasn't that much. But yeah, they controlled the weather. So for the crops, so that, you know what I'm saying, their crops could grow and shit like that. And in places where, you know what I'm saying, if it did rain, it wasn't really raining that much around, you know what I'm saying. I feel like most of this weather, besides sunny days, it's probably them just controlling this shit low key. Now, who knows? I don't know, but that's how I feel. Because if you think about it, supposedly, if ancient people was sleeping outside and shit, sleeping out, you feel me, and all that other shit, don't you think a whole lot more people would have been froze to death and all that other shit? You feel me? If they were so-called living in teepees and all this other shit, don't you think a lot of them people would have froze to death? A lot of people can't even be outside for a couple hours when it's cold. Them motherfuckers had to sleep outside. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I don't know. I think snow and ice and shit is something that they genetically made, you feel me, genetically modified and made, because, and this, if I can quit talking, goddammit, but this video is gonna prove, you feel me, prove
weather events that people have never seen before.
That was supposed to be my intro, that long, you feel me.
I'm not just talking about this hurricane. A few months ago, look at those floods that happened in Texas. Anybody who followed that event closely knows just how impossible that whole thing was. And here we are, the end of 2025 almost, and we are seeing one of the strongest hurricanes ever recorded. So let me read this for you so you can understand exactly what we're talking about here. Quote, abstract. In 2025, U.S. aerospace forces can own the weather by capitalizing on emerging technologies and focusing development.
And hold on, I'm sorry, because I still don't even think this is the actual video. If they did, I mean, I did watch it, but hold on, because there was it was one I watched where they was talking about how like the ice can how like they turn the water in the clouds into ice so it could fall down or into like a snow particle, bro. I don't think this is the video, but we still finna watch it anyway. Let's see.
Of those technologies to war-fighting applications. Such a capability.
He talking about a hurricane right now and shit. But that's important too because they definitely control that. And I was gonna fuck it, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. I don't like putting my shit out there because I mean thoughts ain't yours anyways, and somebody, you feel me, but that's a whole nother video. But anyways, yeah, I don't want to put it out there because yeah, I don't like putting, you know what I'm saying, stuff out in the universe before it happens, you feel me? But or before I do it, because then sometimes that makes you not want to do it, you feel me, because you said you done it or was gonna do it, so it rewards your brain and it makes you feel like you already done it. But anyways, yeah, I was gonna do a video about how tornadoes too was genetically modified or whatever, how they control that shit.
It offers the warfighter tools to shape the battle space.
I think this what this video was gonna be used for, but I hope they talk about it in this one, how they can turn like the water inside the damn clouds into snow or ice and shit.
In ways never before possible. It provides opportunities to impact operations across the full spectrum of conflict and is pertinent to all possible futures. The purpose of this paper is to outline a strategy for the use of future weather modification systems to achieve military objectives rather than to provide a
Okay. Let me take it back real quick. I'm sorry, because I was talking too much and I ain't even really hear what they did. I just heard something about tornadoes and shit. So let me take it back.
Such a capability offers the warfighter tools to shape the battle space in ways never before possible. It provides technologies and focusing development of those technologies can understand exactly what we're talking about here. Quote, abstract. In 2025, U.S. aerospace forces can own the weather by capitalizing on emerging technologies and focusing development of those technologies to warfighting applications. Such a capability offers the warfighter tools to shape the battle space in ways never before possible. It provides opportunities to impact operations across the full spectrum of conflict and is pertinent to all possible futures. The purpose of this paper is to outline a strategy for the use of future weather modification systems to achieve military objectives rather than to provide a detailed technical roadmap, a high-risk reward endeavor. Weather modification offers a dilemma not unlike the splitting of the atom. While some segments of society will always be reluctant to examine controversial issues, such as weather modification, the tremendous military capabilities that could result from this field are ignored at our own peril. From enhancing friendly operations or disrupting those of the enemy via small-scale tailoring of natural weather patterns to complete dominance of global communications and counter-space control. Weather modification offers the warfighter a wide range of possible options to defeat or coerce an adversary. Some of the potential capabilities of a weather modification system could provide to a warfighting commander-in-chief, CNIC, are listed in Table 1. Technology advance.
So, of course, how they using it is in war, though, was for war. But how our ancestors supposedly was using it was for just agriculture, pretty much. They was using it to make it like rain over their crops and shit like that, water their crops, pretty much.
Advancements in 5 major areas are necessary for an integrated weather modification capability. 1. Advanced nonlinear modeling techniques. 2. Computational capability. 3. Information gathering and transmission. 4. A global sensor array. And 5. Weather intervention techniques. Some intervention tools exist today, and others may be developed and refined in the future. End quote.
EVE to me is basically freedom. It's a giant open universe where you...
Now, this is just the abstract. The whole report is about 53 pages long, and I'm showing it to you right here on the screen. Now, we don't have time to go into every single detail in here. You can look it up for yourself if you want. However, there are some things that we can take note, okay? In the abstract, it said that they need 5 things in order for this to be successful. The first one being advanced nonlinear modeling techniques. And we have that. With our supercomputers and our AI systems, and not even to mention our quantum computing systems, they can model just about anything that we can imagine nowadays. 2. Computational capability. Again, with our supercomputers, our data centers, and the amount of compute that is available today, it would have blown the minds of the people writing this report. So, we have both of those things. 3. Information gathering and transmission. Again, think about the global network of control that we are under right now. From facial recognition to Wi-Fi tracking to the NSA's ability to monitor everybody's phone in the world, basically. We can gather more information today in 1 hour than they could have in 1 year.
Not even in 1 hour, probably in 30 seconds. I mean, not 30 seconds, 30 minutes. But definitely an hour tops. But in 30 minutes, you can gather more information than they could from back then, whatever time or date he just said.
Back then.
No,
Probably
he
even
didn't say
greater.
one. He didn't say one, but yeah, same thing from back then, bro. That nigga.
Than that. 4. A global sensor array.
I done made plenty of videos talking about the surveillance and talking about, you know what I'm saying, all that type of shit. So yeah.
Think about the grid of cell phone towers that can be found worldwide. Those are sensors. Think about the satellites and all the military sensors they have. And 5, weather intervention techniques. And we all know cloud seeding exists and other things like HARP that they don't want us to talk about. These tools have been around for a while, and you can only imagine how much more advanced they are today. So if we take this into account, we can use logic and critical thinking and surmise.
Let me go back. Y'all see how that's like a netted tight looking thing that they put off in the sky? That's how it was in the movie Geostorm too. It was like how satellites, it was like pretty much everywhere where like the pattern connects, like in the middle or whatever, those would be like look, let me show with the cursor, because nigga, I'm pointing at the screen like y'all can see the shit. Motherfucker. Okay, so right there where the cursor is at, those like little spaces would be where like the satellite looking thing would connect to. And in the movie they had the pretty much, okay, so if you gonna watch it, it was a pretty good movie too, so if you're gonna watch it, I ain't gonna spoil too much, but pretty much the satellites, they was getting taken over, controlled or some bullshit, and then so they had to send up another one to crash out in which, because when they send them up, they automatically go in the place that they supposed to be at. You feel me? They connect on the grid in the pattern where they supposed to be at. So they sent another one up in the place of the malfunctioning or the targeted one, I guess you could say, that was getting hacked, and it blew that one up pretty much, and or somehow it's scooted that one out the way and connect. I don't know. It did, you know, they did some movie shit, but yeah, that's pretty much how it looked in Geostorm too, and it was pretty much making like catastrophes over the world and shit. In Dubai, I think it was like a big ass flood or some shit like that. Motherfucking like over in China, like, bro, just go watch the movie, bro.
Today. So if we take this into account, we can use.
And it kind of seemed like, well, right now I feel like they doing it, you feel me? They do it, or if they is controlling the weather, making it snow everywhere and shit, I feel like they doing it to make people panic, of course, mass panic, fear and shit, fear monger. Because there was a whole lot of people I was seeing on TikTok from watching YouTubers that react to TikToks that was making it on some fear-based shit, like it's going to be a massive snowstorm, everybody, you know, they was just making it sound like some fearful ass shit like they gotta do.
Logic and critical thinking, and surmise that yes, they do have this technology, and yes, they probably are using it. To what degree, that remains the question. Now I want to show you a clip from Dr. Sandra Pelingeri. who is one of the world's top climate scientists, and she discovered some very frightening information about weather modification that scared her. So she came out talking about it, and she was trying to show people exactly what they're capable of and what they're doing. And what happened? Well, she was ridiculed, she was mocked, she was classified as a conspiracy theorist, and ignored by the mainstream media. Of course, that's what they do. That's their playbook. So without further ado, here's Dr. Sandra Pelingeri.
Pelingeri is the author of The Uterine Crisis, one of the first books to link environmental toxins with the staggering rate of women's reproductive illnesses. In 2006, she was chair of Maine's first global warming conference. She has written for E!, the environmental magazine, and London's The Ecologist.
I don't think this is the video, so
ancient cultures
I'm gonna keep on.
used to do native tribal dances to pray for rain, to bring areas that were very dry and have good rainfall. In the 20th century, clouds were seeded by numerous countries.
If I find the video though, I might put it off in here while I'm editing, but I'm gonna try to find it. I don't even know if I can. I tried searching it in my history and everything. I don't even remember the name. I tried putting like little keywords and shit, like just ice or snow, or you know what I'm saying, weather modification, or I didn't put geoengineering though. That's what I probably should have put in. It might have popped up then. I'm gonna try
around the globe with various chemicals to produce rain. China was just doing this over the summer in Beijing to make sure that there weren't any rain, that there wasn't any rain during the Olympics. But all this has changed dramatically with the U.S. military's secretive research and plans to control the planet's natural weather. This has not been given very much press, and we have to remember that we have a corporate-owned press where 85% of radio, television, and print media is owned by 5 corporations. So they're not going to talk about things that are of really serious consequence, and that's somewhat of the blessing, a mixed blessing of the internet, but there's certainly plenty of information on weather modification. The Air Force is on record as saying, quote, they want to control the weather by 2025, and we are not talking about just seeding the
Well, we're in 2026 now.
clouds for rain. Weather modification means, quote, any activity performed with the intention of producing artificial changes in the composition, behavior, or dynamics of the atmosphere, unquote. And as of April this year, there are more than 150 different weather modification programs around the world. Since about 2000, the Department of Defense and the Department of Energy have been spraying the entire United States sky with a toxic brew of chemicals and other biologic agents. Just want to show you something. We have 2 different kinds of trails in the sky right now. One are called contrails. How many of you know what contrails are? Contrails are what have been around from the ends of planes since World War II. These are very, very short exhaust trails that usually evaporate within a few minutes. You just look up at the sky and you'll just see a jet, sometimes with 4 trails, but it evaporates pretty quickly. How many of you know what chemtrails are? The military and some commercial planes are spraying us with what are called chemtrails. I want you to look at the, and oftentimes before there's a weather front, there are heavy assaults from these planes just before a weather front is changed and comes in. Military and some commercial jets have been fitted with huge barrels of at least 49 different kinds of documented chemical poisons. Among other documented ingredients in this toxic man-made clouds are pathogenic molds, fungi, weaponized viruses and made in some places like of the secret site at Fort Detrick, Maryland, which is supposed to be a cancer site. But there are a number of scholars and professors tracking this that have big questions about this. Barium and nanoaluminum particles. What do these do to the human body? Barium is an alkaline earth mineral. It was discovered in 1774. At low doses, it can act as a muscle stimulant. At high doses, it detrimentally affects the heart and the nervous system. Barium is toxic to all mammals, and that means not just humans. Aluminum, which is the most abundant metal in the Earth's crust, is known to diminish kidney function and destroy brain cells and cognitive function. Just think about it. Just between the aluminum and the mercury that we're breathing all the time, we've got already a serious issue about brain function and cognitive function.
My work is easy because I use ClickUp.
And haven't there been like?
Here's how I keep track of all my tasks. I start by brain dumping everything I need to.
There is also
And haven't there been like an increase in people with like autism and, you know what I'm saying, just like disabilities like that? It's not on coincidence. It's by design, by the food, by what they spraying in the air, by the water that we gotta drink and bathe in. Because depending on where you, I mean, really where, it don't matter where you at, the water is still got, you know what I'm saying, stuff it shouldn't, like you just said, it's leads and shit, all types of shit. And in some places the pipes still ain't, they still outdated pipes, so they might be have like some rust and shit all in the pipes and in the water. So yeah, bro, they don't give a fuck about us. They don't give a fuck, bro, because if they did, they wouldn't be doing that shit. I don't know. That's like, bro, that's like a person beating on you every day. You think that nigga really care? Or if he, because I mean, if he did, I don't think that motherfucker would be doing that every day. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about.
Documented evidence that the aluminum in chemtrails is released.
But I just know the sooner we realize they don't give a fuck about us, the sooner we can stand up and do something. And I'm not talking about that fake ass. I'm pretty sure all the people that was protesting, they might be at home now. I don't know why the fuck they decided to. Well, I do know why. Matter of fact, because I was supposed to play that video too, so I'm gonna play that after this one. We're gonna break down the numbers. You feel me, gematria? But yeah, I don't know. That shit crazy, bro. And protesting that damn show ain't gonna work. They could give two fucks about that too, honestly. The only way to do it is stop buying the products, stop paying for their services, pretty much. And people around just, we started, you feel me? We do the businesses and put the money back into our pockets, not theirs. The only way they get their salary is from us, from all the taxes and shit. Them motherfuckers don't work like we do. Them motherfuckers don't work like, they don't have to work for their money. They could literally stay in the bed if they wanted to and still get paid, because we giving them our money. They're the government, the elite. They don't really work. They don't get a paycheck for real. They only get a paycheck because we give them one.
Nanoparticles, and that when they,
because if they was getting a paycheck for real, they wouldn't need us to do their shit. That we wouldn't have to give them our motherfucking money. Like, they would be paying for it or doing what we wouldn't have. They only getting paid because we giving them our money. They kingdom is only getting set up because we helping them build it. That's it.
Reach the earth, environment for wildlife in lakes and streams. It's causing serious problems with wildlife there. Researchers are also finding that nanoparticles.
Them motherfuckers ain't gonna do the work themselves. So if we don't do it, it ain't gonna get done. That protest that's happening. Matter of fact, I ain't gonna even lie, y'all get the point. I don't know. I don't even know if I'm gonna go ahead and go to the video I was gonna go to. And a dude I was supposed to do after this. Let me go back to
You. Just you.
If you did want to finish that video though, that was by Anton Productions. Yeah.
Building your app on Base 44.
But we gonna get into this for because that don't really do no justice. But this is gonna do some justice. And you know, I'm a just let him break it down.
Welcome back, True Seeker. Maybe record level mockery this week.
Cause I know gematria, but I don't know it. That's not the main thing I was focused on. I don't really know it. I know it when I see it though. I know the numbers and all that shit, but I don't know what the numbers represent or is symbolic for some of them. You know what I'm saying? I know orange is like 33. Yeah, I think Trump might be 33 or something like that. I know some of them when they pop up, but yeah, I don't really die, but I do know gematria though.
Following the Wednesday headline that ICE can raid homes without warrants, we now have a record ice storm that's going to impact reportedly 177 million Americans. And again, this goes with the coincidence programming or coincidence training that many Americans have experienced for all of their life. You just saw it the other week with the ICE agent shooting on Portland Avenue. We called it out as the news broke. We said, it's weird that's on Portland Avenue because Portland had the longest protest for George Floyd, which ended with the woods around Portland catching on fire and people not being able to breathe, like the Black Lives Matter was I Can't Breathe. And of course, that happened on September 11th. And of course, we predicted something bad coming to Portland on September 11th. It's a lot to explain, but yeah, you had the Portland Avenue shooting reportedly of Renee Nicole Good. And then the next day you had more people shot by federal agents, ICE agents in Portland. And again, now, you know, this unprecedented headline just a couple days ago about ICE can circumvent the Fourth Amendment, and followed by a record ice storm. Now, we're not coincidence theorists over here, and we see the mockery and we call it out day in and day out, and we're aware of the document that was written in the 90s by the U.S. military called Owning the Weather by 2025. And of course, it seems that they've been owning the weather since well before 2025, as we've been documenting for over a decade. But this is what Eisenhower warned about when he left office in 1961. January 17, 1961, Eisenhower warned about the military-industrial complex and how it could grow beyond our imagination. And, you know, I mean, look at the United States in the 21st century.
And I had another video. I did a video on my live stream, and it was the title got ice in it. And was it yeah, I think it was that video. And it was pretty much talk. Y'all remember the ALS ice bucket challenge and shit? Yeah, that has something to do with it too. And guess who was one of the ones that got nominated? Trump.
Militarized police forces. More police than ever. More cameras than ever. More CCTV than ever. More expenditures on military than ever.
That's what cause I said in plenty of videos that trends don't just be a trend for everything is by design. Everything is by design. Cause a regular person could make something go, I wouldn't even say viral, but they could make it go viral, but it's not gonna go viral like a random meme page that nobody don't know who the fuck it belonged to and shit, but they just know they be posting some funny ass memes and everybody follow it and shit. Probably a bot account ain't even no real person or something, or if it is, you feel me, and there is real people that, you know, I said in plenty of other videos and broke it down, but yeah, bro, that there is agents and there is you know what I'm saying, infiltrators everywhere, and they try to downplay whatever they are infiltrating, or not downplay, but you know what I'm saying, especially the truth community, how you say, we not coincidence theorists, like the Maverick approach and shit, they call them the coincidence theorists or some shit like that. Listen, that shit ain't no coincidence, that shit is by design. And they made this into a trend, so it just something, I guess, you know what I'm saying, so we just now wrapped up in it, you know what I'm saying, like just what is the word I'm looking for, is pretty much entertained by this, pretty much. Now this is the trend, so this is what's gonna entertain, and so people can, like, you know what I'm saying, yell and scream, or you know what I'm saying, just talk and get that shit off their chest, so nobody really wants to do anything about it. It just become the people gonna forget about it and move on to the next conspiracy theory to talk about and shit, instead of actually trying to do something about it.
More military bases across the world than ever. Taking over countries in the name of national security. Controlling the weather, something the U.S. military has been involved with for the better part of the last century. Again, you look at the earliest military experiments for weather control, it goes back to the 1940s. And there were experiments to control the weather even before that, but just what's on the record with the U.S. military, I mean, we're approaching the 100th anniversary. Let's read some of the key points from Eisenhower's military-industrial complex warning as our streets become more and more militarized with ICE, police, National Guard, and as your streets are about to become icier than ever. Everybody's about to get the Minneapolis cold treatment. And again, it's no accident that the Renee Good psyop happened in icy Minnesota. It's just all part of the mockery.
No Lil Yachty, but it get cold like Minnesota.
That goes over almost everyone's head. So let's go back in time. Again, if you don't know about Eisenhower's military-industrial complex warning, you should just watch it. Just take the time to watch it. I've shown it on this channel before. Of course, the channel's been deleted 20-some times, so most of the stuff I've shown is gone. But it was delivered, yes, January 17th, 1961. We just passed the 65th anniversary. And again, just using even Google's bullet points, I think it did a pretty good job with the bullet points here. Warning. A warning from it was of misplaced power. Eisenhower cautioned that the conjunction of an immense military establishment and a large arms industry was new to the American experience, and its total influence, economic, political, even spiritual, is felt in every city, every state house, every office of the federal government. He said there's a threat to democracy. He stated that despite the need for a strong defense, Americans must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought by the military-industrial complex, to avoid endangering liberties. Well, we all know what happened on, well, I shouldn't say we all know. A lot of people still don't know what happened on September 11th. A lot of people still don't even know about Building 7. What a massive psyop it was for a major political agenda. But after that, we definitely threw out a lot of our liberties in the name of security. And we spent a whole lot of money.
And that was, matter of fact, let me just go. Well, yeah. What I forgot what is the name of that video? Matter of fact, let me go to it, cause yeah, I done talked about it a couple times and made a whole video on this about you know what I'm saying, what he just spoke about 911 and yeah, why they want to introduce security cameras and shit right here. I believe it was this video. I believe it was that video, but yeah.
Money on militarism that didn't make the world safer. It weakened the dollar. It made the world less safe. It killed a lot of people. It's created an immense bill that will be paying.
Actually, it was that video. I know it's that video. Not I believe. I know it's that video.
Off for the rest of our lifetimes, and with interest on top, good for the central bankers. The need for balance was another talking point. Eisenhower emphasized that national security must be balanced with other needs, including maintaining a stable economy, avoiding excessive debt, and the comfortably desirable. Well, I mean, that's exactly what we haven't done. And even Cooties 19, where we could have just faced it like adults and said, yeah, you know, this was coined as seasonal flu in 1968. And typically we don't lock down the world for the flu, so we're not going to do it this year because we don't want to ruin our economy and have to print money and cause hyperinflation. But that's not what they said, was it? They said, no. You all need to stay at home. Amazon can stay open, and so can Walmart and some Kroger stores. And of course, they grew in wealth and power while a lot of people lost everything they had. And now we have an even more unbalanced society where there's an even smaller group of elite who have even greater wealth.
And you think that was by design? I mean, you think that was all a coincidence? Everybody just so happened to have to stay inside, and people was losing their businesses and going under and shit, or you know what I'm saying? And the elite, the rich, just got richer though. They just got even more richer from that. Now it's even more of a gap between the rich and the commoners or the poor. And you think that was by design? I mean, you think that was just by coincidence, or just, you know what I'm saying, just something naturally just had it? Nah, bro.
Where the masses have a lot less. Again, none of this was by accident. This is what all of his the threat to democracy, warning of misplaced power.
That's been the whole plan all along. They've been trying to get rid of the middle class. There is gonna be no middle class. Pretty much, there really ain't no middle class. I mean, it's still kind of a middle class, but they definitely working on getting rid of that motherfucker. Supposedly, it was something that I forgot who it was, but they came out with that in like 1960 somewhere in the 1900s. You feel me? Somewhere around in the 1900s. Yeah, they came out with this thing where pretty much they wanted to have it was like gonna be an energy card or something like that, and everybody was gonna have like an allowance, like, you know what I'm saying, so much, and I think and some other shit like that. But yeah, they trying to make that into a thing. They trying to make that into a thing now. That's what they getting ready to do. And I made a video. Yeah, I did pretty much. Yeah, I made a video on that too. Oh shit, let me get that out the way. And it was these two right there. Them two right there.
And this is what it's all about right here. The danger of a technological elite. Have you guys read my book, Number Games? It talked about, you know, the technocrats and where the surveillance state fit in and why it mattered that 2020, the year of Cooties 19, was 52 years after 1968, the year that gave us the movie 2001: A Space Odyssey about the warning of technology overtaking man. And let's not forget, in that same year, 1968, that 2001: A Space Odyssey came out. It's the same year that 911 was made the national emergency dialing code and World Trade Center construction began. And
like I said, go check. Hey, bro, go check. Hey, Say, go check out this one today. You feel me? Like, hello, where go this one right there? No, this one. This one, you feel me? That one and that one too, but mainly that one, because that's where I was breaking this shit down. What he talking about?
Corona virus was coined, and fentanyl was approved by the feds. And again, the book about the need for depopulation, the population bomb came out. And of course, all those things from 1968 are the biggest killers of the 21st century. But yeah, technological.
And I feel like that's why they got rid of the Georgia Guidestones, because that was, of course, something that their bloodline ancestors, it was probably rules that they had on the earth, you know what I'm saying, or like pretty much their guidestones telling them how to guide the society, pretty much, I guess, or whatever, you know what I'm saying. That's why they got rid of them, because it was getting too big.
Elite. He warned that public policy could become captive to a scientific technological elite. Weren't those all the people standing behind Trump as he took office this last time in the rigged selection? Larry Ellison, who just a few months earlier before inauguration said his future utopia is a United States of America where everything is under camera surveillance, where everybody's required to wear a camera at all times. Imagine how that works. Imagine you don't have your camera on. Big Brother's at your door in no time. ICE. They got rid of all the immigrants. Now what they go around doing is getting all the people whose cameras aren't on. It'll remind me of high school after Columbine. I was in Columbine, or I wasn't in Columbine. I was in high school in Washington State when Columbine happened. And we adopted a new policy right away that everybody had to have a name badge on. And if you didn't have your name badge, you would go to detention. And then it looked like this. Security guard down the hall from me. Security guard says to me, "Hey, Hubbard, where's your name badge?" And I'd say, "Well, there's the problem right there. You know my name. What do I need a name badge for? Is a name badge going to protect me if some guy comes in here in a trench coat with an AK? With a shotgun, if my name badge is on, am I going to be safe?" Again, it's essentially a metaphor for what government does with all their bullshit policies. Just says, here's a rule, and if you don't follow it, we're going to punish you and take even more from you.
Big fact.
Cost of arms.
Because we already don't really even own shit no ways. They could take this shit. They could take whatever you got whenever they want. They could take your money. They could do a bank account money. Pretty much, they could take you out. Well, for whatever. If they just wanted to be some assholes and do that to everybody today, they could. Did everybody forget that shutdown just happened not too long ago? Government shutdown.
Arms. He famously noted, every gun that is made, every warship launched, every rocket fired signifies, in the final sense, a theft from those who hunger and are not fed, those who are cold and are not clothed. And, you know, what's always driven me nuts about the political right, and again, I don't subscribe to either side, but the political right does drive me more nuts because they do tend to be the more holier than thou types. They're usually religious and militaristic and not realizing how hypocritical they are. Imagine Jesus is here. Jesus has returned. Do you think Jesus is embracing all this militarism and killing and fear-mongering?
Listen. We gonna go there. We can go there because that's how they was. That's why we put. I ain't gonna even say we, because I left that shit recently. I talked about it in other videos. I ain't gonna even go all the way down there, but that story. But so that's what they was. That's why people push it so heavily and say you have to believe, you have to follow the way, the light. You feel me? Because that they would back then. Them Templars or whoever the fuck, you know what I'm saying, them priests and shit, them missionaries, nigga, they would off you if you didn't want to believe in that. You feel me? If you didn't want to believe in Christianity, they would off you. You feel me? So yeah, that's why people is pushing, I guess you push it so heavily today because it's pretty much like trauma behind it. I guess you could say or something. I don't even know, but yeah, they was killing people to if you didn't want to believe in Christianity.
Of course,
you think Jesus would, bro?
It's not. He would be echoing that quote right there, which would fly in the face of right-wing politics.
Like I said, it's their stuff anyways. And I just made it, and I'm definitely finna do the video now because I've been pushing that video off too. One, to kind of get some more, you know what I'm saying, as much, you know what I'm saying, because I want to make that as, like, you know what I'm saying, since I'm, you know what I'm saying, I get talking about, you know what I'm saying, a touchy subject. I want to, you know what I'm saying, make that a little bit as more presentable than these videos I do. I just kind of come on here and, you know what I'm saying, just do what I do. I want to make that one more. And I'm still not going all out, but I'm just gathering more evidence instead of, you know what I'm saying, just, you know what I'm saying, talking about it and showing one or two or, you know what I'm saying, 3 videos or whatever, maybe doing a little searching myself or whatever. But yeah, so I'm definitely doing that video, but it's theirs anyways. It's their religion. You feel me? It's theirs. The secret, the Masons and shit, the secret societies.
Your crosses would melt on the spot. Your hypocrisy would be understood in an instant. Anyway, call for citizen vigilance. He called for an alert and knowledgeable citizenry to manage this massive apparatus. And funny enough, because of this machine that is the military-industrial complex, they've program the masses so that if any alert and knowledgeable citizen comes around and blows the whistle, he's immediately demonized as a lunatic, a conspiracy theorist, a tinfoil hat, etc., etc. Why don't you move out of the...
I forgot what video that was. I think it was maybe this video, I want to say. Yeah, I believe it might have been that video. But this one right here, I believe. But I ain't gonna even say. Yeah, just I actually I don't even know which of it. I ain't gonna lie. I'm just gonna say I think it was that one. But I was talking about how Leo Taxel. I think it was Leo Taxel. Was it what? If it was Leo Taxel, I believe it was Leo Taxel, and he was the first one who was saying like you know what I'm saying, secret societies was like, you know what I'm saying, Satanists and all that, you know what I'm saying, pretty much all that other stuff, you feel me, that we pretty much say today, all the stuff that we pretty much say today, and or the stuff that's coming out today, and and they coined him as like, you know what I'm saying, conspiracy, or you know what I'm saying, pretty much one of them terms to make him seem like he, you know what I'm saying, was just, you know what I'm saying, I guess you could say crazy or whatever, you know what I'm saying, it's a tinfoil hat or whatever.
The country. That's what I've been told 1,000 times since September 11th happened.
If you're a producer who hates AI, this plugin might change your mind. This is Reimagine in CoProducer. You can take
So, again, you know, it was all foretold, and not enough people understood the warning or seemed to care. In the information age, very few people would ever want to look up any of this. Or what might also happen is the next person might pull up their phone to look it up, and then next thing you know, the first thing that popped up in the feed was some cute girl with her boobs hanging out dancing. They're like, well, wait a minute, I gotta check this out. And then another one pops up and they're like, shit, where did the last hour go, man? I was just checking out cute girls. I don't have time to watch the speech anymore. Because we all know that's what everyone's doing on the internet. A lot of these videos are really starting to show up in my feed. All of a sudden, it's like, is this the YouTube's new strategy?
I ain't gonna lie. Nah, me, I be on watching mostly these and shit. I be watching mostly this. I ain't gonna lie, I drown myself in this information, you feel me?
to make it look like TikTok with just dancing girls because it's just like showing up in my feed. It might be related to the fact that I started watching a lot of fitness videos, could be connected. I don't know. But anyway, somehow even my feed's filled up with this now. And
listen, it's not,
it's
not a coincidence either, because once again, it's their algorithm, and pretty much they don't want this information to get out there, but they can't really just scrub it all away right now anyway. Or you know what I'm saying, that's why they try, or I think they did already make the internet 18, or in some places you got to be 18 and up or something like that. That's why they trying to you know what I'm saying, and they trying to take away TikTok and stuff like that. That's why YouTube got so strict. Cause yeah, they don't want this information to get out there. Well, I mean, not that they don't want this, but cause listen, matter of fact, let me talk. Let me just go there, cause I did definitely this video. Go check that out, cause that was a whole video talking about how pretty much YouTube was not really created. Listen, just go watch that video, but pretty much they do want it. That's what that's what the next video, or not the next video, but when I do it, that's what that's video gonna be talking about. Pretty much is how they pretty much put this in, because they want to get as many people into it as they can, but at the same time, it's not something that you can still just, you know what I'm saying, go join yourself. They are they were recruiting you feel me? They watching out, you feel me? If you throwing up the signs or whatever, if you already know about this stuff and you know what I'm saying, you throw it, or if you know somebody that's in it or whatever, that, you know what I'm saying, shit, pretty much they wanted it to really get to as many people, so they can get as many people into it, so they can get their plans done, I guess you could say, faster or whatever. But pretty much, yeah, go watch that video, bro.
Notice when they show up, you can see like these things have like 100,000 likes. You're like, God, just okay, being cute with your
but even yeah, just go watch that video, bro.
It's hanging out, 100,000 likes. Hey, spend a whole morning decoding something, putting on an awesome piece of information. 24 hours later, 600 views, 100 likes. Like, this is why we're finished. We are finished. We're not really finished. I don't mean to be defeated. Again, they wouldn't censor us if we were totally finished, but it does not look good right now.
That's what I was trying to allude to. That's the fact I was trying to, the word I was, is censored. They trying to pretty much like because they already they censoring this information, you feel me? Because they don't really want the deeper stuff that we finding out. They the stuff that they put out, because okay, listen, so they put stuff in our face on purpose. One, they put some stuff out there because they letting the other members know when they see the sign, the colors, whatever. They letting them know that, hey, this is what this is, or this is the whatever, you feel me, whatever, something like that. And then they put it in our face because supposedly they got to tell us what they're doing before they do it, or, you know what I'm saying, pretty much they got to tell us what they're doing, you feel me? So yeah, they pretty much put it out there in our face and make some of this shit obvious, but the little shit they don't really care about that got out there. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you figure out what maybe some of the signs mean, maybe, or if you know, they didn't really, because they put it out there, you feel me? But they, at the same time, they didn't want like the commoners to really figure out as much as we have figured out, you feel me? Because I ain't gonna lie, bro, we figured out a lot. We didn't connected a lot of dots to this shit. And but they didn't want, that's why they, you feel me, they send in infiltrators, they send in people to say certain, they were like, let's point out Candace Owens, you feel me? They send people out, or even Alex Jones, they send people out like the David Icke, to, you know what I'm saying, push this type of, or you know what I'm saying, certain narratives or false information, you feel me, and you feel me, allude to something else so you don't find out the real thing behind it, you feel me, like the reptilian shit. They might actually be real reptilians, because at one point I was actually believing it, and then I started kind of believing it. I mean, not believing it recently, but now I'm kind of back believing it, because I ain't gonna lie, bro. Some of them people's necks be looking like they finna bust out at this bitch and say ribbit. Like, why the fuck they neck be puffing up like that goddamn the damn puffer fish or some shit, Mrs. Puff? Like, why the fuck they neck? Listen, they definitely something else. I don't know. I guess you could say alien or reptilian, or I guess you could say alien because they unknown. You feel me? We don't know. I don't know, but they listen. Something else. They ain't like no Kendrick Lamar, but they ain't like us for real. Like it's something else going on, and even him too. But and what I mean, what I think he was talking about was they not like us is probably he's how there's different types of them or something different, and they I don't even know, but bro, I was supposed. As a matter of fact, I might do that video tomorrow. Cause I was listen. Like I said, I got a lot of videos on backup. You know, I'ma just bust them on. I'ma just go ahead, just cause sometimes I just be waiting to see if there's something like more. I guess you could say controversial. You feel me? That I could speak on. You feel me? So that way, maybe I can get a little couple, you know what I'm saying, views off of it. But I'm finna go ahead and just do them videos, cause bro, most of the shit, the videos that I had that I was gonna do, somebody came out and then you feel me, the thought, cause it left out. I explain that in other videos, but you know what I'm saying. You probably already know too. Thoughts ain't yours. When they come, they come and they go. So somebody else probably picked up my thought, or picked up the thought in the ether, and yeah, they did a video on it. But yeah, so I got a couple. I'm finna go ahead and bust them out. But yeah, bro,
it does not look good.
They definitely they definitely something else.
Record ice storm. Well, we'll get to the U.S., Ukraine, and Russia's first trilateral meeting 2 days before Zelensky's birthday, too. I love it. Remember the trident.
And I ain't gonna lie, I probably didn't seen I'm pretty sure a lot of people that been in contact with one and they know, but I didn't seen some people's necks like that do that in person. I ain't gonna even lie, like in like certain like being out in public, and I didn't seen, not recently, cause I don't really be paying attention. I mean, I do pay attention, but I don't really be looking at people, like, you know what I'm saying, when I was in the Matrix. Cause sometimes people, I ain't gonna even lie, especially when I was with my homeboy, bro, we could just look at like an ugly ass nigga and just bust the lip. If we look at each other, we gonna bust out laughing, bro, and then get on his head. But yeah, bro, I done seen some people neck like that, like it was a wide neck, and then when they swallowed or somewhere, you know what I'm saying, when a frog do whatever the fuck they do to make they motherfucking neck puff out like that, I done seen some people neck do that in public. So yeah, bro, and they definitely looked, they was on the, yeah, they definitely look like they could have been. I ain't gonna even lie, bro. That shit crazy. I don't even understand how your neck even fucking do that, bro.
Is the symbol in Ukraine.
That's gonna be my next video. I ain't gonna even lie, cause yeah.
And remember how the war started right after the Rams won the Super Bowl with McVay and his Ukrainian fiance, who's now his wife. And of course, the Rams have the same colors as Ukraine, and the Rams, Aries, the god of war. But you got the Rams playing the Super Bowl 48 winner on Zelensky's 48th birthday this weekend, which is Seattle, where the sports teams carry around the trident, because Poseidon, who carries a trident, is associated with the city by the sea, Seattle. Again, like I've always told you guys, rigged world affairs, rigged news, rigged sports, all symbolic, not a coincidence. Almost all the ritualism going over everyone's head day in and day out. But yeah, how about this? You know, today, and by the way, you guys, you know what institution's birthday it is today? The day that this crazy winter storm begins?
EVE Online is a
It's Georgetown's birthday, the first Jesuit university in the United States, the one that was established just a couple months and days before George Washington became the first recognized president. And again, it goes back to the first act of weather warfare being admitted to in history on August 15th, the Jesuit order's birthday. So here we are on Jesuit Georgetown's birthday as we get a major winter storm. And look at the gematria winter storm, 123. By the way, somebody just probably spent the better part of their day writing paragraphs of just nothing but bullshit about how my work is all cherry picking and just trying to make things fit together to deceive people. Yes, I did just take the time to delete all of your posts and block you so you can't post anymore. And it's not to censor you. It's just because I can see what you are. You're probably a CIA agent. If you want to call in though and have this debate, you can. It's just I'm not going to let you fill up my post with these 8 paragraphs of bullshit that are totally deceptive. What you wrote. I'm not cherry picking anything. I'm showing you exactly what these people are doing by undeniable patterns every single day. We're calling out the storms before they hit. We're calling out the sports games, the news before it happens, doing it for over a decade straight. That's what we're doing here, the unprecedented, and then some moron wants to come around and say that we're cherry picking. Am I cherry picking the words in every headline today about winter storm, which equates to 123? Just like conspiracy equals 123, which this obviously is, because there is a conspiracy, a real one, not a conspiracy theory. There's a real conspiracy to control the weather and to control the minds of this nation. And in this conspiracy, we are mocked every single day. Are you kidding me? A record ice storm on the week that it's revealed that ICE can raid people's homes without a warrant? Anyway.
And listen, what video was that? Hold on, let me go to the what video is that? Cause look, this video right here, this last live stream video I did. When he said we are mocked, bro, I feel like we was hella mocked on that Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion situation. Go check out that video. And if you go back and rewatch the Megan, or when she was like getting out the car and so-called bleeding from the front and limping because the officer was telling her, bro, to walk back or whatever, bro, listen, bro. First off, she was limping off of the wrong foot. She was limping off the wrong foot, bro. And the foot that had the blood print coming from it, she was not limping off that foot, bro. Just go back and rewatch that footage. Matter of fact, go watch that video I did, my last live stream video, bro. And just, I don't know if anybody pointed that out, but I don't know how how that just slipped past. Like, bro, that shit crazy.
A winter storm on 123, okay? Now, this could be a coincidence, because they do say it's a conspiracy theory, and it was on the TV show Conspiracy Theory with Jesse Ventura. HAARP, the military technology that's said to be experimental, that's been in operation for decades.
Oh yeah, I forgot to freeze up right here. Let me get forward real quick. Okay, hold on. I ain't skipping. There you go.
107 and 33. British article. At least 177 million people were under watches or warnings for ice and snow. And more than 200 million. I'm surprised they didn't just go with 201. But yeah, here we are. 201 days from the HAARP patent date. Now, according to conspiracy theory, HAARP has been experimented with for weather manipulation, according to Google, which is controlled by the Jesuits. And again, Sundar Pichai equals 201, and they celebrate their birthday on the same day the Jesuits were recognized by Rome. But according to Google, which isn't here to inform, but is here to control information, they say it's just a nonsensical conspiracy theory and HAARP can have zero impact on the weather. Could be true. Could be true. I'm not saying that it is or isn't true. I'm just saying, it was alluded to in once public television show that, yeah, HAARP can impact the weather. And there has been experimentation with it to impact the weather. And of course, there's a lot of other things that can be impacting the weather other than HAARP. But I do find it funny that today's 201 days from the anniversary of the HAARP patent date that we get this record ice storm with ice dominating the news. So, and just to read, and by the way, the last time Dallas froze over, we actually predicted to the day to expect weather warfare on that day because it was perfectly synced with Klaus Schwab and remarks he had made earlier that year. And Klaus Schwab's the Jesuit-trained individual who founded the World Economic Forum, who said you'll own nothing and be happy, because he's talking about communism or collectivism for the world. But yeah, just to read, it was too cold for school in Chicago and other Midwestern cities Friday as a huge days-long winter storm began to crank up that could bring snow, sleet, ice, and bone-chilling temperatures, as well as extensive power outages to about half the U.S. population from Texas to New England. Forecasters warned that the damage, especially in areas pounded by ice, could rival a hurricane. Airlines canceled thousands of flights. Churches moved Sunday services online, and the Grand Ole Opry in Nashville, Tennessee decided to hold its Saturday night radio performance without fans. Carnival parades in Louisiana were canceled.
Okay, I ain't gonna lie. He kind of talk a little bit more about it, I believe, but I think you might get the point. But there was a video that I was gonna watch, and it was something about HAARP. And I was gonna watch I wasn't gonna watch it, but I was gonna see what that one was gonna be talking about. But it was a video, something about HAARP. I don't know if I can find it no more, but yeah, I think you pretty much get the point. You feel me? I think you get the point. But the video that I wanted to show, though, that I actually that I was gonna show that Zachary Hubbard video too, but the one with the old lady talking, I wasn't really, that's not the video I wanted to show. It was a video where it was breaking down how, like, when planes supposedly they got, let me switch, because I mean I ain't gonna lie, that's the end of this video. But there was like how planes supposedly when they spray whatever they spray, it mixes with like the water in the clouds or whatever, and it like can turn the clouds into snow flurries, I guess you could say, or ice or whatever, or you know what I'm saying, whatever that could make it rain. I don't know if I could find the video. I tried. I spent like at least 15 to maybe 20 minutes trying to find, maybe 10 to 15 20 minutes trying to find that video. My search history went all the way back to like November or something. But and it's somewhere within from November to now I watched that video. I believe it might have been a little bit more or before that, who knows, I don't know, but I watched so many goddamn videos, bro. I don't even remember. I mean I remember, but I don't really exactly remember what date and shit like that. But yeah, I'll be whatever, yeah, bro. But I really wanted to play that shit, bro, because that motherfucker right there that shit broke it down specifically on how that shit worked. But yeah, that's the end of this video, man. I ain't gonna lie, I think my next video, I was gonna make it about hurricanes, and I think that was the video, or you know what I'm saying, tornadoes, so called to say. And that was the video that I showed today was gonna be for that video. But yeah. But anyways, I don't know if I'm gonna do that one no more. But I'm definitely gonna do that video probably tomorrow, coming up soon, about how these motherfuckers' necks be like these are some of these rich elite people, how they neck be croaking like a damn frog, bro. That shit crazy work. But yeah, bro, let me catch y'all on the next one.
You're in the circle now. Lean in. Check your shoulders. Make sure it's just you. And these words. You have now tuned in to the Let 'Em Know podcast, where real talk's quiet and the truth talks loud. No accidents. You found this frequency, so sit back, lock in, let 'em know you're listening. You've now tuned in to the Let 'Em Know podcast.